Genene Jones is anything but a nice old lady. Look into her eyes and you'll find a heart filled with pure evil. Listen to how these people describe the former pediatric nurse.
Evil.
Crazy.
The angel of death.
Why do the good people of South Texas have nothing but bad to say about Genene Jones?
She's a nurse that murdered my child.
Genene Jones is a baby killer, convicted of the murder of 15-month-old Chelsea McClellan.
Chelsea never had a chance. She never had a chance.
Chelsea died 34 years ago, but to her mother Petty, it was like yesterday. A day that robbed her of all the tomorrows with her precious little girl.
When you think about Chelsea, and you think about all that you missed.
It's hard. I think with Chelsea, so one of the things I get the most frustrated about is trying to visualize her as an adult, but she'll always be that. You know, she will always be that age.
The monster named Genene Jones was a beautician turned nurse in the pediatric intensive care unit at what used to be called Bexar County Hospital in San Antonio. But strangely enough, so many children died while Jones was on duty, people started calling it the death shift. An internal investigation at the time reportedly called the deaths unexplained events. The hospital report says this association of Nurse Jones with the deaths of 10 children could be coincidental. However, negligence or wrongdoing cannot be excluded. Instead of firing Jones, the hospital barred her from working in the pediatric ICU. As a licensed vocational nurse, she did not have the training of a registered nurse. Jones soon quit, and so did the unexplained events. This building in Kerrville, Texas, houses mostly office spaces now. But there was once a medical clinic here. And this is where Genene came to get a fresh start, still working as a nurse. But soon, the reign of terror that shook San Antonio showed up here to Kerrville, when 8 children came down with mysterious emergencies. And there was one common thread. They had all been in Genene's care. That's how Chelsea ended up in the clutches of the angel of death. Petty can barely hold back the tears when she describes the day she took her little girl to the doctor for a routine checkup.
It wasn't 2 minutes, and Genene was going, Chelsea's crashed, she's not breathing. And I'm like, what?
So you hear this is serious, what word did they say? Did they say,
she's not breathing?
she's not breathing?
Yeah.
We've got to do something now.
Yeah.
They rushed Chelsea to the hospital. Jones rode in the ambulance. What Petty didn't know at the time is that the nurse injected Chelsea with a powerful muscle relaxant called succinylcholine. It stops breathing almost instantly and leads to cardiac arrest. Petty says Jones gave her a second dose in the ambulance.
The EMTs were like, what are you doing? And she said, she's restless. And they said, she's not restless, she's fine, she's completely stable. You know, and they were arguing with her, but she injected her. And I knew when she came out of that ambulance, I saw her. I knew she wasn't gonna come back. That was it.
Chelsea was gone, and so it appeared was the evidence.
And once it's given to someone, very quickly disappears and turns ultimately into things that we have an awful lot of in our body.
Robert Middleberg from NMS Labs in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, explains why succinylcholine may be the perfect murder weapon.
It will induce effects within 30 seconds to a minute and last only about 7 minutes. And that's why it's such a perfect poison to use to try to kill someone.
When Petty comes to the gravesite to visit her baby girl, it gives her an even greater sense of closeness to Chelsea. It gives her a sense of peace. But she can only come here alone. So just imagine how this mother felt when she saw Genene Jones, her daughter's killer, right here in this cemetery.
What happened?
It was just crazy. I went to see her, and she was on her knees, and she was, I used the word wailing, saying, Chelsea, I love you, I'm sorry, I love you. I did everything I could. I said, what are you doing here? And I think I said it pretty forcibly and pretty loudly. And then she looked at me, and it was like, boom, a light switch. Everything stopped.
Turned it off.
turned it off just like if you turned a light switch. I was mad. And then I was sad because I just felt like it was like she was trespassing.
Petty is not the only one in Kerrville with tales of terror. Kay Reichenau says Jones did the same thing to her daughter, Misty.
Misty was laying on the bed and I was standing beside her. Genene put the IV in and immediately Misty stopped breathing. It scared the crud out of me.
Kay took Misty, then 18 months old, to the doctor's office because she was lethargic. She says Genene instantly diagnosed meningitis, which turned out to be the incorrect diagnosis.
And I yelled, "Something's wrong, Misty's not breathing." And Genene said, "Get out." It's the scariest thing you can imagine. And in the eyes,
You remember it?
yeah, the eyes were like, "Mama, please do something."
An air ambulance flew Misty to a hospital in San Antonio.
We go to ICU over there, they helicopter out, and Genene does it again. Genene went with her. They wouldn't let any of us, but they let Genene ride in the helicopter. I later found out she gave her another dose of acetylcholine. So that means one more time, she quit breathing. Misty bit her hand and wouldn't let go, which was okay.
The grand jury investigated why there were so many children dying. An eyewitness testified against Jones. But how would they get the physical evidence to prove murder? 5,000 miles away in Sweden, researchers invented a new test to detect small amounts of succinylcholine. They exhumed Chelsea's body and found minute traces of the drug. That was enough to slap the cuffs on Genene Jones. She was charged with several counts, including the murder of Chelsea and injury to a child. This is what she told NBC News in 1983.
I know for a fact that I have done no wrong. I have caused no harm. I've caused no deaths to anyone, either here in Bexar County or in Kerrville.
But the jury didn't buy her story and convicted Jones of the murder of Chelsea. Coming up, 99 years in prison for Genene Jones. But what amounts to a lifetime sentence may not be what it seems. Why Jones could soon walk free.
We have a little less than 2 years to stop this storm from wreaking its havoc on humanity.
And the baby victim who survived. Now she's all grown up. Her story next.